Earthworms are the hidden champions of any thriving garden, quietly working beneath the surface to aerate the soil, improve drainage, and boost fertility. Over the years, I've tried countless ways to attract more of them: compost piles, mulched leaves, worm-friendly fertilizers. But nothing has compared to the single, simple method I'm about to share. It's so effective that within weeks, I saw my soil literally wriggling with life, and I didn't add a single bag of store-bought fertilizer. This trick works by creating the perfect habitat for earthworms, providing them with exactly what they want: moisture, shelter, and a steady food supply that breaks down naturally over time. Instead of overcomplicating things, I focused on mimicking the environment worms thrive in naturally. Think of a forest floor with its damp leaf litter, decaying plant matter, and cool, shaded soil. The first step is to choose a spot in your garden where the soil can be consistently kept moist but not waterlogged. Earthworms hate dry soil, so moisture is key. I started by deeply watering the area in the evening and then covering it with a thick layer, about 6 inches, of organic mulch. I like to use shredded leaves, grass clippings, and straw, but you can also use wood chips or composted bark. This thick mulch acts like a blanket, locking in moisture, keeping the soil temperature stable, and providing a slow-release food source as it breaks down. Under this cozy cover, earthworms feel safe from predators and are drawn in to feed. Within days, I noticed tiny soil mounds, castings, popping up, a sure sign they were moving in. The next part of my trick is where the magic really happens: burying kitchen scraps in a worm trench. So instead of just scattering food scraps all over the place, I actually dig a shallow trench right beside my main planting beds, usually about 8 to 10 inches deep. Into this trench, I lay a soft, easily decomposable kitchen waste like fruit peels, melon rinds, overripe vegetables, coffee grounds, and even spent tea leaves. I always avoid anything oily, salty, or meat-based, since these can attract pests and, honestly, they aren't good for worms either. After adding the scraps, I just cover them back up with soil and mulch. This not only hides the scraps from unwanted visitors, but also creates an underground buffet for worms. The buried organic matter stays moist, decomposes faster, and really encourages worms to gather, feed, and reproduce. Over time, this method transforms your soil into a living ecosystem. The earthworms tunnel through the dirt, creating natural aeration channels that help roots breathe and allow water to penetrate deeply. Their castings, nutrient-rich worm droppings, are one of the best fertilizers you can get, packed with nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and beneficial microbes. The best part? The worms do all the work for you, breaking down organic matter and delivering plant-ready nutrients exactly where they're needed. I found that plants growing near my worm trenches grow faster, have greener leaves, and produce bigger harvests compared to other parts of the garden. It's quite fascinating, really. One unexpected benefit of this method is that it doesn't just boost worm populations, it also improves the overall resilience of the garden. During those hot summer spells, the mulch and buried scraps help retain soil moisture, keeping both worms and plants happy. It's like a little oasis. In the cooler months, the decomposing matter creates gentle warmth underground, which can keep worms active for longer periods. It's pretty amazing how nature works, isn't it? Plus, because worms tend to stay near their food source, you'll notice they congregate in the areas where you've established your trenches, making it easy to target improvements in specific beds. I've also experimented with adding a few worm favorites to my trenches to speed up the process. Banana peels, for example, are packed with potassium and decompose quickly, attracting worms almost instantly. Melon rinds are another winner. Worms love the sugary moisture. Coffee grounds are a double benefit. They add organic matter while slightly lowering soil pH, which worms enjoy. Over time, I've learned that variety matters. Mixing different kinds of scraps keeps the worms well fed and the soil balanced. What amazes me most is how quickly the worm population explodes once the environment is right. Within just a few weeks of starting this routine, I could find dozens of worms in every spadeful of soil near my trench. After a couple of months, the numbers were so high that I didn't need to add any other fertilizers. The worm castings alone kept my garden thriving. It's one of those rare gardening techniques that requires minimal effort, yet yields incredible results. If you want thousands of earthworms in your garden without spending money on fertilizer or fancy soil amendments, try creating your own worm-friendly environment. Give them moisture, cover, and a steady food source, and they'll reward you with the healthiest, most productive soil you've ever had. The beauty of this method is that it works in any climate, with any soil type, and you can start it any time of year. Once you see your garden teeming with worms and your plants responding with lush, vibrant growth, you'll never go back to store-bought fertilizers again. The secret isn't in the bag, it's in the life beneath your feet.